Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final section of our day-long conference. And we have something rather special planned for you. A meeting of minds which we've called a foresight on economic challenges to come. This is an on-stage interview with the former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Some of you may know there are some Hungarian roots in that family tree. And two-time former Prime Minister of Spain, José María Aznar. They will discuss the major economic challenges to come in the region, but also on a global scale. Our moderator is Alexander Margier, publisher and editor-in-chief of the German political monthly Cicero. Gentlemen, the stage is yours.
Well, thank you, Robin, for the very kind introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the conference. I think we have had very interesting panels so far. It's great to be in Budapest, and it's great to be the host of this meeting of minds here. And in fact, we have some very big minds on stage. I don't have to introduce them to you. They are the best known, they belong to the best known former politicians and hommes d'etat in Europe. José María Aznar, thank you for being with us. He served as a Spanish Prime Minister from 1996 until 2004. And next to me, Nicolas Sarkozy. Monsieur le Président, bienvenue. French President from 2007 until 2012. Now, Nicolas Sarkozy, the first question goes to you because, as most people know, you have a very special relationship to Hungary. Your father was born here. You travel quite often to Hungary. You have been here just 1 or 2 weeks ago. So as a 1 week. So as a
every week I am in Hungary, in Budapest.
Everybody should follow your example, I think. So from this very personal point of view, how, in your eyes, has Hungary changed and developed in the last 2 decades?
Bon, j'aime la Hongrie.
I like Hungary.
Pas simplement parce que mon père est hongrois.
Not only because my father was Hungarian.
J'aime la Hongrie.
I like Hungary
parce que c'est un peuple.
Because this is a people, the Hungarian people, a courageous people.
En 1956.
In 1956.
Quand les communistes
when the communists and the Soviets
vous ont envahi,
invaded your country,
vous a laissé
Europe
seul.
Left you alone.
Seul.
You were left alone by Europe. There were some important protests, but the small people, the people in the street, there were 150 tanks in the streets of Budapest, and when the Berlin Wall fell, you were the first ones to do something for that. And for myself, I was never a communist, and I was never on the left. I never belonged to the left. The courage of the Hungarian people, it is something that counts. And then, 40 years of communism.
Et vous vous êtes reconstruit.
And then you have reconstructed your country, and now you have one of the most dynamic economies in Europe.
Avec une responsabilité particulière.
With a special responsibility that Hungary is a bridge between Eastern Europe and Western Europe.
La Hongrie peut être un pont.
Hungary can be a bridge between Russia and Europe.
Et la Hongrie
and Hungary can also be a bridge
les Balkans,
between the Balkan,
l'Europe du Sud,
region that is South Europe, and East Europe. So you have a central role to play.
Dont parfois vous ne mesurez pas.
And you yourself don't even appreciate its importance. So for me, Hungary is a strategic place because you are big enough not to be a small country, and you are not too big to frighten the others.
Et vous pouvez parler à
and then you can really talk. You have the position to talk to everybody. So for me, that is the reason why Hungary is so important for me. And of course, Hungary is Europe. It is European culture. It is European history. When I'm in Budapest, we were just talking about it, José Maria, who is so pleased, and I am so pleased that I can be here together with him, because José Maria is not only Spain, he is a leader.
Et la famille des leaders,
and the leaders' family is not very numerous today.
Et quand on est à Budapest,
and when we are in
on
Budapest,
est dans une capitale profondément européenne.
We are in a profoundly European place.
Profondément hongrois,
and this deeply Hungarian, deeply attached to your identity, and at the same time,
d'un idéal européen.
You have this European ideal.
Et puis, permettez-moi de vous dire, et je terminerai
and
par
may
ça,
I still add, and I will close by that.
Votre Premier ministre,
your
Orban, est quelqu'un qui
Prime Minister Viktor Orban is a friend for me.
Quand on est capable de gagner 3 élections,
if you can win 3 elections in a row,
mon admiration.
that means that an admiration is well placed. And for me, Fidesz, irrespective of any political legal questions, this is the party which had the courage to fight against the communists. And of course, there are different points of view. That is quite clear. And of course, but these are important things, and these I don't forget. I will never forget. Others may forget it, but I don't forget. And this is the history of the free Europe is here. And so for us, you are our brothers.
José María Aznar, Hungary joined the EU on the 1st of May in the year 2004, just a few weeks before you left office as the Spanish Prime Minister. That means that you had been involved in all the negotiations for the accession of the so-called Visegrad states to the European Union. How, by that time, were your expectations regarding these countries, especially Hungary?
First of all, good afternoon, and thank you very much for this invitation, this opportunity. And thank you very much, especially for the opportunity to share this stage with my friend Nicolas Sarkozy, great president in France, great ami, and a great leader. And
we are in the same family.
No, we have shared together a lot of different circumstances, and we fighting for the same ideas, the same values, and we share a lot of goals, a lot of ideas in the world, and we continue. And to keeping this very close friendship with Nicolas, he's a very good friend of Spain, very good leader for Europe and for us, and he loves Hungary.
Obviously.
So this is she's a recent demonstration, immediate demonstration. Well, I defend always this idea of enlargement of the European Union for one reason, because it's the historical opportunity to the reunification of Europe. We cannot say no in this opportunity. There is some opportunities in the history of the peoples, in the history of the nations, on the personal histories. No? For instance, the founders of the European Union take the decision to establish the European Union. It's an opportunity at the time, to avoid a lot of mistakes, historical mistakes, and today it's a great success, in my view, with problems, but a great success. You have the foundation of the euro. We're talking maybe after about this. The foundation of the euro was one of the expressions of most important after the foundation of the European Union to reinforce the European commitment and to share the sovereignty in currency is one of the most important decisions that can take a government in the history, can take people in the history. And to enlargement the European Union and to live and to promote the reunification of Europe, it was a historical step. We cannot conceive today Europe without this enlargement. 10 countries with more than 75 million people, the biggest market in the world, but historically was a definitive step for the idea, totally the idea of Europe. It is very especially very important to remark this in this year, that in November 9th, we'll be living the 30th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Very important question. And we must reflect about this, about the consequences of the fall, all the circumstances that happened in Europe and the world after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and all the problems that we live in our societies as well as consequences of the Berlin Wall. But I have no doubt about the enlargement, and I have when I was President of the European Council in 2002, I organized all the meetings. There are 2 meetings, one in Barcelona and another in Sevilla. Today in Barcelona it's more difficult to organize some meetings of this kind. No? But one in Barcelona, another in Sevilla, and the meetings was at 25. Both meetings, 25. There's a part fundamental of the idea of reunification of Europe, and we're beginning to working together. And we hope that Hungary, very high expectation of the contribution of Hungary, and I continue, because Hungary is a reference point today for a lot of politicians, for a lot of peoples in Europe.
Now, Nicolas Sarkozy, we all know that nowadays there is quite some struggle between especially the Central European EU members like Hungary on the one side and Western European EU members like Germany, I have to say, on the other side. And of course the migration crisis is and was an important point in this discussion, but it is surely not the only one. So what, in your opinion, are the causes for this, how should I say, alienation between the old Western EU members and the new Eastern EU members like Hungary?
D'abord,
first of all,
être dans la même union ne veut pas dire qu'on est d'accord sur tout.
Whenever we are in the same union, it doesn't mean that we are all the same.
Franchement, moi, si on me demandait d'aller vivre au nord de l'Europe,
I had to live in the north of Europe, if I were asked to live there, in a country where at 2 o'clock, well, it's completely dark. Well, it's which country, Mr. President, you are talking about?
Non, mais ce qu'il faut comprendre,
so
nous
what
avons des
you have to understand that we've got historical differences. We are not the same on the cultural point of view.
Mais c'est justement parce que nous ne sommes pas les mêmes
we are not the same. That's why we shall remain united. That's what every one of us
Vous
has
n'aurez
to
jamais
understand.
500 millions
Never ever
qui penseront la même chose
500
sur tous les sujets.
millions
Mais
of
nous voulons 500 millions
Europeans will
d'Européens
think the same thing, but we shall respect each other, shall understand each other, and we have to make our differences make us stronger, just based on our differences. And yes, I think there is an axis in the world which is migrating from west to the east in the for 5 centuries, it was west, and now it's
Rien que pour des questions de démographie, c'est incontournable.
Just for demographical
Ce n'est pas le moment
issues.
de nous
It is the
diviser,
case. So it
alors que
is
ce qu'on
not
appelait
the
l'Occident,
moment
dont
to
vous faites
divide,
c'est moins de 1
to
milliard
have
d'habitants,
differences
800 millions.
in
L'Asie,
Europe.
c'est 4 milliards.
Asia, c'est 4
Donc il faut surmonter nos
billions.
différences
Not
et
500
rester
millions of
ensemble.
Europeans. So
Et
we shall
l'Europe de
remain
l'Ouest
united.
doit comprendre
And the
les
western
attentes
part of
particulières
Europe
de l'Europe
has
de
to
l'Est.
understand that
Et c'est
yes,
là où la Hongrie
Eastern Europe
a un
is
rôle majeur,
particular, and
parce que
Hungary
vous êtes
has
dans
a
l'Europe
very
de
important,
l'Est,
a key
pratiquement
role to
les
play,
seuls
because
qui parlent
Hungary
une langue.
is
Et il faut
practically
garder
the only
cette
one
richesse
country
hongroise
capable to
d'être
talk to
capable de parler
all
à
of
tout
other
le monde.
countries. So it
Russes
is absolutely
et à l'Europe de
key.
l'Ouest.
So Hungary is capable
Et
to
c'est
speak
possible.
to Western and Eastern
Parce que le grand
partners.
problème du monde aujourd'hui,
What is the
me
main
semble-t-il,
problem
comment on
in the
gère la
world?
Chine
So China,
et sa
how
puissance phénoménale,
it,
est un sujet,
it's a
on peut dire ça en aimant les Chinois,
huge power.
c'est un sujet monumental.
And it's a huge issue, I think. It's a hot
Peut-être qu'il n'y aura jamais eu
potato.
dans le monde,
And
comme dans les années qui
probably,
viennent, une
in the near
superpuissance qui domine le
future,
monde, comme la Chine va le dominer.
superpower will
dire,
dominate the whole world.
on a eu
To
les
China.
États-Unis qui ont dominé
We had in the past
économiquement
the
et
States
militairement.
that
On
was
a eu
the
l'Union
dominant
soviétique
one.
qui a dominé
And
une partie du
then
monde
we had
politiquement.
the
Mais une
Soviets,
grande puissance qui domine
but a huge power
démographiquement, à ce
demographically.
Il y en a
Absolutely powerful, it will be
C'est un
for the
sujet
first time
qui, me
that
semble-t-il,
a
doit nous
huge,
rassembler.
demographically
Deuxième
powerful
problème, c'est le
country will
déséquilibre
dominate
démographique.
the world.
Bah, que vous connaissez, vous êtes en plein emploi.
Something
Quand je
which
suis
is
né,
not balanced.
Il y avait 2,5 milliards d'habitants sur la planète.
When
Aujourd'hui, 7,5 milliards.
I started my career, we were
Et la
2 billion in the
quasi-totalité
world, and we are more than 7
Est-ce que vous croyez qu'il est
billions.
raisonnable
And Asia
que nous nous
is
séparions entre
the
nous?
one
Non.
which has the most population.
Donc, il faut
Is
un effort
it reasonable in
pour que nous
Europe
comprenions
to
mieux
be
les
divided?
aspirations
Not at all.
des derniers
I
entrants de l'Union
think that in
Et je termine
Western
là-dessus.
Europe,
Pour moi,
we shall understand
suis très
aspirations
européen.
of this
Il n'y aura plus jamais
eastern
une
part of Europe. And no, never ever we will have only one
Il y en aura au moins 3 ou
Europe.
4.
We
Je
have
ne crois pas à
at
l'Europe
least
des
3 or 4
Je n'aime pas ça.
Europes. I don't like this
Parce que je ne crois
circle
pas
model. No, I
qu'il
don't
puisse y avoir une
think
Europe de première
that
division et une
we
Europe de
can
deuxième
have
division.
a first circle and a second circle in Europe.
Qu'il y aura l'Europe de l'euro.
But I think Euro
Il y aura l'Europe de l'Union,
and the
qu'il y aura
Union
l'Europe de Schengen.
and Schengen, these
Et
are
peut-être
keywords.
l'Europe de la défense.
These are circles and
expliquez-moi
probably
pourquoi
defense and security.
L'Europe de
A
Schengen,
fourth one. And Schengen,
qui aura géré
Europe
le
of the
problème de
Schengen
l'immigration,
borders,
devrait obéir aux
I
mêmes règles
think
que
this
l'Europe de
Europe
l'euro.
should
Expliquez-moi
have the
pourquoi
same rules than
l'Europe de l'euro
Eurozone.
devrait
Why?
être composée des mêmes
Why?
membres que l'Europe de Schengen. Je prends un exemple. et
These
puis
two
j'arrête parce que je
circles
veux pas être
would
trop
be
long.
all the same for the
Si vous
members.
prenez les
Why
Balkans,
we should say that, okay, the same
vous
countries
prenez
should
l'Albanie,
be in the two circles. Let's
naturellement,
have an
on va pas
example.
mettre les nations des Balkans
Albany,
ou
for
l'Albanie
example, and south
l'Europe de l'euro.
part
Ils sont
of
pas prêts.
Europe.
Mais on
I
aurait bien
don't
besoin
think that
d'avoir ces pays
Albany
dans l'Europe
could
de
have
Schengen.
Europe now, but it would
Parce
be
que pour
great
gérer
to
les
have
flux
Albany
migratoires,
in the Schengen
il serait
zone,
bien
in the Schengen
intéressant
area,
d'avoir un
because
contrôle commun des
it
frontières
would be really
avec tous les
great
Balkans.
to be able to control our borders with all southern European countries.
plus
So
intégrée
I
pour l'euro,
do think that
plus
in the
efficace pour
Eurozone
l'Union,
we should
plus
be more
différente du
integrated, and
Et avec
we
ça,
need
vous,
more
et moi,
efficiency in other circles. And
nous tous les
in this
Européens,
context,
nous pourrons continuer à habiter ensemble. L'erreur, c'est de
can
penser qu'on peut avoir les mêmes
live together,
institutions
all Europeans.
avec 6 pays
We
européens
can
ou
have
avec 27
some
et
institutions
demain 36. Et là l'erreur. Cette
with
erreur, il
six.
ne faut pas la
We
commettre. Il faut arrêter
had
de
some
parler de l'Europe des
institutions in
70 ans
Europe.
passés
And
et
then
imaginer
we are now
l'Europe des
more than
70 ans.
25. I don't think that the same institutions can be there. And what the future will bring.
Now, Jose Maria Aznar, do you have the feeling that there is a different approach to politics in Central European countries in the sense of they tend to focus more on a pragmatic approach to politics, maybe more on economy because they are former communist countries, whereas Western EU members, like especially Germany in this case, tend to emphasize very much on moral values nowadays?
Well, politics today is horrible everywhere.
Yes, in fact, but sometimes they have to hide different things.
I quite agree with you.
We are not living in the best moment of politics in the world. Not only in the level of the leadership, but the quality of the people, with exception as well. No? Hungary is an exception, clear exception. But not only is the expression of the leadership, or the lack of expression of the leadership, is as well the quality of the people that decide to spend time in the public life, decreasing terribly in the last years. And the quality of the people, the high quality of the people don't decide to spend time in public life. This is a problem for politics, everywhere, everywhere. You can find one leader, another leader. I said a lot of friends around the world that you can be agree or disagree with the current Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, is my friend as well, the friend of Nicolas, but he's a leader. The difference is he is a leader. Then you can agree or disagree, but he is a leader. And today is an exception today in the world. Well, all the questions the answer of Nicolas Sarkozy about the Europe in the future is very interesting, taking account your answer. The question is your question. The question is, we live in Europe, but Europe is the history of the different nations in Europe. This history of different nations in Europe is very important in the world. The history of Spain, of France, of Germany, of England, even Hungary, is not irrelevant in the history of the world. And you must take account this when we're talking about a Europe without respect of the nation state, or without respect the sovereignty of the state. It's a serious mistake, because it's against the history, against the traditions, against the culture, against the feelings of the people. And it is totally normal that you can share a lot of things in Europe, a lot of goals, a lot of initiatives, and you can have looking the history of Europe or the future of Europe with different ideas, because you have your own history here in Hungary that is different than my history. But the important is that we share a common destiny today. And we share responsibilities, and we share sovereignties, and we share our place in the world. This is the most important. No? To keeping join is to keeping together, to make things together is most important than all the nuances that can happen exactly in Europe. If you ask me personally, in the Western Europe, one of the problems of the Western Europe today, the Western countries today, is that we don't believe in anything. We don't believe in anything. And this is a problem. Because if you don't believe in something or anything, you can finish thinking anything and do anything. And this is a mistake. This is a difference with the countries of Central Europe or Eastern Europe. You still believe in some things.
Are you talking about religious beliefs? Just to be clear on that point.
I think in the world in the future that comes, ideas, values, this kind of problems will be more important than the past, and will be the decisive problem. We can depict today, we can score today, but will be the most important question in the future. No? Taking account this and take care this world of values and that will be very important.
Nicolas Sarkozy, as we have learned today, and as we knew before, of course, Hungary has one of the strongest growth rates on GDP in the European Union, almost 5%, which is enormous. On the other hand, there is a recession moving in, especially in Germany. From your point of view, how dependent is the Hungarian economy to the economic performance in the big economies of Western Europe?
Vous êtes très dépendant de l'économie européenne, mais nous aussi.
We are very dependent on the European economy because everybody is depending on the other. Even China is dependent on the others.
80%
80%
de votre activité dépend du commerce avec les autres pays d'Europe.
Depends because
Vous savez, quand
on
il y a
the
eu la
economies
crise
of other countries in
de
Europe.
2008, pas
You
celle de
knew this
2010,
crisis in
de
2008.
J'ai dit à Angela
From
Merkel,
2006 and 2008, I told Angela Merkel, who is my friend,
tu sais,
you know,
s'il arrive malheur à la
if
France,
there will be something
il y aura
bad
plus
happening
d'Allemagne.
to France, there will be no more Germany.
Pourquoi?
And why that?
Parce que la France,
Because
c'est
France
le premier client de l'Allemagne.
is the first
Si votre
client
premier client
of
fait
Germany.
faillite, vous croyez
And
que
if
vous
your customers are bankrupt,
Vous faites
do you
faillite
think you
aussi.
can survive? Not at
Et c'est
all.
bien pour ça
So that is
qu'il faut
the
construire une union
reason that we
européenne
have to forge
intelligente
a
et
union
respectueuse
between
de
ours,
l'histoire
and we have to be
et de l'identité,
respectful
comme le dit
of the
José Maria.
identity and history of
Parce que
each
nous
of us,
sommes
as
dans
José
un
Maria
monde
said, because we are
interdépendant.
in an interdependent world.
Regardez Budapest.
Look at Budapest.
Tous les touristes que
All
vous
the
avez,
tourists flocking
C'est pas
here,
que des touristes hongrois.
these are not Hungarian tourists.
et nous, la France, qui
And
recevons
we in
près de
France, who
90 millions
are
de
receiving
touristes chaque année, ils viennent d'où?
90 million
De toutes les
tourists a
parties du
year,
monde.
where do they come from?
Et les
From all
produits
parts
que vous
of the world.
fabriquez, qui va les acheter?
And
Alors, je
the
sais que
products we
votre
produce,
croissance
who will
est
buy
tirée par
them?
l'augmentation
Of course,
du pouvoir d'achat.
there is
Mais
this
vous dépendez des
increase
autres,
of
comme
the
nous dépendons des autres.
of your capacity
Et c'est ça qui
to buy.
fait
But
à
in
la
everywhere in the
fois
world, this is
la
the same
chance du
thing.
nouveau monde
There is
et
an
tous ces problèmes.
increase in
Nous sommes
purchasing
tous
power everywhere.
interdépendants.
With you, it is important,
Et
but
je
you
voudrais
also
d'ailleurs
depend
dire
on
une
all
chose
the
de ce
others.
point de
And I
vue.
would still like to add something else from this point.
Je sais que les
I
résultats de
know that
l'économie
the
hongroise sur la dette,
economic
notamment, et sur le
results of
déficit,
Hungary, when it
sont
comes, for
excellents.
example, reducing the
Mais
debt,
je m'étonne
are very important.
de la
But
pauvreté
the
du raisonnement économique
But the poverty
mondial.
of economic reasoning in the world
Il est arrivé
is
un événement majeur
frightening. This is
qui, de mon point de
is a
vue,
major element
modifie
which, from my
les
point of
stratégies
view,
économiques.
will modify
C'est
all
la
the
première
economic
fois
strategies. And it is the first time
l'argent
now that
a une valeur
money
négative
has a negative value
zéro.
or
C'est un
a
événement
zero value.
invraisemblable.
This is an element which has very big importance. And if you consider
De la même façon,
debt in the
quand elle a
same
une
way,
valeur négative,
when it has a negative value or a positive value. I'm not saying that debt is a good thing, but I'm only saying that this is a
je suis étonné de voir
founding element, an essential element. And I'm really astonished that no economists are really appreciating the negative money value on economic
et
strategies.
sans être caricatural,
Without
pense que maintenant,
caricaturizing everybody, I think that the task of a country is to profit of cheap money, to invest massively in
de
infrastructures
façon à ce que ces
in a way that these infrastructure investments would produce growth.
le loyer de l'argent sera
And then until the money will be less cheap. So I'm sorry, I don't want to change my nature. Up to now, fight against indebtedness was a priority. Now that money has a low value, is a negative value, the priority should be to build infrastructures, because we don't know how long it will last to have cheap money.
Quand l'argent deviendra cher,
And when money will be expensive, then it will be much more difficult to realize those infrastructures without which you will never have growth. And this is the most important thing, and this is how I would like to react and reply to your question, because Germany Germany has surpluses, 45 billion or more. It's okay, but I was telling you that unless there is something accident which will not bring anything because the value of money is negative, then let me pose a question that with these plus money, with this additional money, can you really build then later all the infrastructures like airports, schools, etc.? So this is a completely new situation. Milton Friedman or Keynes or even Ricardo, something they have to come up and imagine what this new situation and this new strategy would mean for the future.
Sorry, it was not exactly your answer, your question, but it was exactly my answer.
I could say... I could say we're moving in the right direction, at least. Because, in fact, the next question, Jose Maria Aznar, has to do with our currency, the euro. You have been in office when the euro was introduced in the year 2002 as the single currency. Now, 1.5 decades later, would you say the euro was a success story so far and that it should be introduced in countries like Hungary as well, or are the Hungarians now better off, in fact, with their own forint?
Well, I personally consider that the euro is a very great success. In the beginning of the euro, in the history of the euro, I listened that the euro will be a very short story, and the euro will be the euro is impossible to compete. The euro don't resist. The euro no. What, 20 years ago, 20 years, we are the second currency in the world after the dollar, is the euro, and the transformation of the countries as consequences to establish the euro is fundamental. I cannot conceive. Excuse me. I cannot conceive today Europe without the European Union, without the euro. I cannot conceive today my country without the euro. I cannot imagine back 20 years or 25 years ago and living to the peseta. No. We live in euros, unfortunately. And to introduce in the euro and to accept the euro means for Spain a very fantastic change, a very serious leap forward, with the same level that when we enter in the European Union. And another thing is we must to finish the architecture of the Eurozone. Mm-hmm. The Eurozone is a building, is the same that this building is no roof. No. But the Eurozone is a building without roof. And when it's raining a lot, or snowing a lot, we have problems. But we must just finish. For instance, to finish the banking union is extremely important to guarantee this situation for the euro in the future. No? But I think for Europe, for economically, politically, the existence of the euro is extremely important. For other countries, I don't know, depend of the country. Depend of the country, or depend on the circumstances of the country. In my country, personally, when you're taking the decision to the euro, to be part of the euro, we have a problem. We have not founders of the European Union. We're not founders of NATO. We're not founders of the United Nations because political reasons. When you have the opportunity of the euro, I decide we will be founders of the euro. And we respect all the conditions to be members of the euro. And the economic consequences for the country will be fantastic. Then, don't forget never the rules of the euro. And the rules of the euro, I can explain very simple in very few words. In one hand, euro means stability and discipline. In the other hand, euro means flexibility, improving the competitive conditions in the country. If you forget one of these two rules, you have a problem. If you forget the two, both, you have a disaster. Why? Because you lose the capacity to devaluate currency. And to promote more growth, devaluating currency is, is a traditional tool. It's a tool of the bad government leaders, but it's a tool, a classical tool. And classical tools today, we go to the school, we go to the university, has changed in economy. Nicolas, to explain very well all the negative value of money. There is not exist in our time when we go to school of 15 years ago, no? But I think Euro was fundamental for us. Euro is fundamental for Europe. I believe that the future of the Euro is you must reinforce the Eurozone, but in your case, you must decide, analyze the economic conditions, analyze the economic consequences, analyze the social circumstances, and taking a political decision basic. But this is the decision of the will of the Hungarians.
Nicolas Sarkozy, the European Union faces big challenges in many ways. The US seems to be more or less hostile towards the EU. We are witnessing trade wars. We are witnessing a rise of China. In addition to all that, we are upholding sanctions against Russia. The migration crisis is far from being solved. Now, if you were in the role of the new president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who maybe was invented by Macron, as we hear, if you were in her role, how would your policy look like?
J'ai été président de l'Europe.
I was president of Europe for 6 months.
On s'en souvient?
Well, I do remember.
Parce que je me suis affranchi de toutes les règles.
I had to get to know every rules. I think a leader shall be able to take decisions, and it shall be organized in a way that you could indeed take these decisions. So really, frankly, I admire all these presidents of the Commission of the EU, but it's not for me. This job is definitely not for me.
Premièrement,
well, first of all,
je pense que
I do think that Europe
doit s'interroger de toute urgence sur la nature de la politique que nous
what
devons
is the
avoir
nature
vis-à-vis de
of the policy in Africa, so our European policy towards Africa. It's a central
1,3 milliard d'habitants en Afrique.
So
dans 30 ans, 2,5 milliards.
30 years we will have more than 2 billion of inhabitants. Nigeria in 30 years will have more inhabitants than the US. Only Nigeria will have more inhabitants than the US in 30 years. Lagos, 22 millions of inhabitants. So, first decision, which is a major one, is the following: how to help Africa in order to develop, in order to avoid all these migration fluxes, because we cannot handle anymore. Spain, Italy, France, yes, but not only those countries, every European countries are concerned. I think it's a key issue. And we have to help Africa to have infrastructure, European societies shall go there. And yes, I am absolutely for the American axis, but I've been a pro-American for my life. But I think now the actual president of the States, well, it's not really correct, let's put like that, with all his partners. So I think it is a big issue how to deal US, because US of today is not the US of yesterday. And also the question, NATO, what composition for NATO, what context, what relations we should have with the US. Polish people are so confident in the US and not confident at all with Russia. Well, I do think that we shall really discuss about it. And thirdly, Russia is a European country. We cannot have the luxury to cut our relations with Russia and all these Russian borders with China. Well, and yes, for Russia it was all the time, and it has been all the time a big question to choose Europe or Asia. And the big question is for Europe, do we want to have all these Russians with us or with the Chinese? So China is big enough. We don't need the China plus Russia. So I think Putin is someone with whom we can discuss. I used to have big debates with him on Georgia and so on, but it is possible to discuss with him, and sanctions are counterproductive. And I think if we've got only the Russian problem, it's not the biggest. But I think that we've got really an urgent issue to tackle. We shall think about our security, and we have to discuss with everybody. And I think we have to have a Europe which exists in the political field. And for me, Europe should propose to the world a new global governance system. For example, if you are a permanent member of the Security Council, what are those countries? Not even one African country, not the most populated country, and not a single Asian country, not a single South American country. So I think we do have to have a new government for the world. For example, we've got Europe, then we've got Europe, Russia, Turkey. Whenever we speak about economical security, I think we need union for the Mediterranean area and so on and so on. I do think that Europe should be able to lead a new global governance. We are in the 21st century. We do not live anymore in the 20th century. Our governance is not updated. It cannot solve any problems nowadays. So this is, if I was the first concealer or the second of the president of the commission, this would be my proposal, but I think she's got a lot of them. Probably two.
José María Aznar, it seems that the Brexit is getting closer and closer. Honestly, 1 month from now, 1st of November, do you think that Great Britain will still be a member of the EU? Or is this going to be like a never-ending story? And what does it mean for Central European countries like Hungary?
I have no idea if the 1st of November, the UK will be member or not of the European Union. But I think Boris Johnson, I think, I don't know, but I think that the Brexit is a very great mistake, in my view, for different reasons. One, because the UK has lived always in a special status in the European Union. If for the UK things are going reasonably well inside the European Union, and keeping his traditional policies, Atlanticist policies, your special relationship with the US. There is no member of the Eurozone, there is no member of Schengen. This is a special status. Second, because call a referendum to decide this question is totally a huge mistake. Third, because the next mistake is the management of this mistake, that this is too big mistake. It is horrible. What you're thinking in the tradition of the British policies or the institutional system in the UK and the House of Commons you can to be more or less relation, more or less friendship, but the landscape is total. It's horrible. It's very terrible. The level of management of this situation of the Brexit. Why? In my personal view, because there is no plan. There is no plan for the Brexit. And I know that there is no plan for the Brexit. Yeah. And the only plan serious for the Brexit is a hard Brexit. And a hard Brexit is a very serious problem for the UK and very serious problem as well for Europe. This is the truth. And now, it is totally possible that in the November the 1st, the UK leave the European Union. Well, this is a very bad news for the UK, very bad news for the European Union. Not good news. I don't know, I don't understand what will be the destiny of the UK. But some people tell me, you're talking about the UK. You're talking about that 70 years old or 60 years old, we're talking about the British Empire and the fleet and all this question in the history, you know? But what is the destiny of the UK outside of the European Union? What is the destiny? To be a part of the United States? It's possible. To convert London and Singapore? It's possible. It's a destiny. To dismantle the UK and live in Scotland for one North Island for another land, England for another land, it is possible. I think this is a total risk and this deep threat. The second question for me, very, very, very dangerous, is the possibility to have some people to split the Western world. And split the Western world, this is a very dangerous question. And there are the people today in the US and the UK that are thinking and to dismantle the European Union and to divide the Western world. But if you look in today the world between US and China and the challenge that Nicolas relating with Africa and so on, or demographic and so on, well, the split of the Western world is the thing less interesting for Europeans. In my view, the thing less interesting for Americans as well. Because one of the lessons of the current years is that we needed allies. We needed friends, and working with friends, and no bully friends, but take care of the friends. It makes together things with friends. The friends will be more or less important, but if you look in the history of the US, it's not bad history after the Second World War with the current friends. There's no change this. And then I think Brexit is very dangerous for this. You can read some studies, for instance, to this. Okay, it's very easy, the question. You said US and UK and Canada and Australia and New Zealand, the Anglo world, and then Europe, second division, third division, without problems. No economically important, but no military, no diplomatically, and with a very small room in this world. Well, attention with this, because Brexit doesn't mean the end of the European Union, but this is a serious problem for them and for us. But it not mean it's the same. It's an opportunity as well to thinking in some questions that Nicolas talking today about the reorganization of the European Union. If for our countries, it's an opportunity to take some advantages of these times, in these times of confusion. I have the idea that in these times of confusion and the disarray and the disorder in the world, if you keep in your country reasonably in order, reasonably with stability, taking some attractive decisions in economic terms, you have a serious opportunity. This is my idea.
José María Aznar has mentioned the management of the Brexit, and I think we can be pretty happy that we had a Frenchman, Michel Barnier, who did, I think, a pretty good job so far. Now the ball is on the side of the British. When you were in office as a president, could you have imagined that someone like the Brexit would ever happen?
The worst management of Brexit is for the UK part, for the English, for the British part, more than for the European part.
Brexit is not only a mistake.
It is not only a mistake. It is
a madness.
It is a nightmare and a madness.
And you will see.
And you will see that in the coming 3 years
will be over.
Great Britain will be finished.
You will see.
You will see.
Quand la division
commence, the division starts,
vous ne l'arrêtez pas.
You will be not able to stop it. Just remember it.
C'est comme la fuite d'eau dans le
It is if in the wall you have water flowing out.
Et vous verrez qu'en Écosse,
and then you will see that you cannot stop it just easily. And you will see that in Scotland, if those who want to stay in Europe will have their word. So it is a real madness. It is a strategic fault, an important fault, strategic, because Brexit is not only a British problem, it is a problem for all of us. And we can say to the British that we understood. You don't want of this Europe of the 60-70 years of the future, but are you ready to build the Europe of the future? Would you imagine that we are now losing the second biggest economy from the European Union, and then they will lose their first market. And can one imagine something so mad than this? So for me, Johnson is worse than Trump.
Vous savez pourquoi?
And you know why?
Parce que Johnson est un idéologue.
Johnson is an ideologist.
Et Trump n'a pas d'idéologie.
And Trump has no ideology.
Avec Trump, il faut faire des deals.
With Trump, you have to make deals with him.
Deal.
The deal.
Avec Johnson,
with Johnson, he has an ideology.
Mais nous aimons avec les Anglais la même musique.
We like the same music. We watch the same films than the British, the same literature.
Ils sont totalement européens.
They are fully European.
Ça ne peut que très mal servir.
So it could disserve Europe. Barnier did a good job, but
qu'est-ce que c'est soft Brexit?
What does that mean, soft Brexit or hard Brexit? Do you know, when there is a divorce, soft or hard, what is important is that it takes place. Is whether it's soft or hard. And the worst of all is that Brexit can give ideas to others in Europe. And that would push to the disintegration of Europe. And this is a major danger, which I cannot accept. And now we come back to the first question, which we discussed with José María. Never the world had so big need of leadership than today. And never leadership was handled as it is treated as it would be illegitimate, as it is done today. And this is a major mistake.
Qu'avec les réseaux sociaux,
with the social networks, it is only the horizontal line, the horizontality. And me, I believe in verticality. I think that power has to be exercised.
Et je ne pense pas que le rôle
I don't think that our Europe and the leaders in our Europe, yes, I listen to you. I listen to you because I have nothing to say.
Je crois à la vision.
So I think
je crois à la passion.
I believe in vision, in passion, in leadership.
Je crois à la dimension épique.
Believe in this epic dimension of the politics of Europe and so Brexit. So we have to think about the 70 years to come, not about the 70 years which have passed. And you know, it is very easy to get separated, and it is much more difficult to get reconciled. That takes much more time. And the generation before us,
ils ont fait la réconciliation
myself, they made the reconciliation between Germany and France, and they built Europe. And I don't want that generation would assist to the disintegration of this continent, of this European continent, which was the most violent and divided continent and brutal continent of all of the continents of the world before. And you say, it's not possible with the British? So we did it with the German. Do you think that reconciliation with Germany was easy after 300 years of hostilities?
Les autres doivent pouvoir le faire.
So with the others, it can be done. Because there is no... country stays where they are. They will not change their address.
Et le désastre
and this risk of disintegration of Europe, this disastrous risk is there. And the generation which would allow this to happen bear an important, an enormous responsibility.
Too bad that the European leaders were not listening right now.
Non, mais je ne pense pas que ça soit la faute. C'est trop facile. On n'est plus au pouvoir. Je ne veux pas critiquer.
I don't want to criticize them. We are not in power. And Mr. Macron takes initiatives, some excellent initiatives. I don't want to criticize anybody. I'm only saying that the leaders who are leaders, to denounce them, it is a stupidity.
Vous le changez.
If you don't have a good leader, you change for another leader. But you will not replace a leader by an absence of leadership.
L'Europe s'est construite avec De Gaulle,
has been built
avec Adenauer.
De Gaulle, Adenauer, and when I came, there were leaders. José María Aznar was one. Tony Blair was one.
C'était des leaders.
They were leaders.
Et quand il y a eu la crise,
and when there was this crisis of 2008, 2010, the whole world talked about Obama, a great leader, Sarkozy.
Je dis qu'aujourd'hui,
I say that today,
M. Macron a le potentiel
and Mr. Macron has the potential to do that. The question of leadership is a central problem.
Car vous n'avez pas de politique
because we will not have politics without this, without the leadership. That doesn't exist. And this is the problem of Europe today, that who is the boss?
Le président du Conseil?
The president of the Council? Or
le président de la Commission?
President of the Commission? Who is the one? Who is the boss? Well, I am a simple well,
un leader.
One leader, one program, one team. I think it's all the time updated as a model.
José María Aznar, Nicolas Sarkozy has mentioned it already. Hungary has always been some kind of a junction in between East and West, and it is somehow an entrance gate to the countries of the Balkans, like Serbia, like Bosnia, like Montenegro. Do you advocate EU membership of these countries?
Why no? We're back to the idea of Nicolas. Why not some countries of the Balkans cannot be member of the European Union? There is no reason. But to organize a 34, 33, 35 union, 36 union is very complicated. This is a question of timing. This is a question of timing. You must take in political decisions. This is a question of timing. And now, because I'm trying to solve the situation, to resolve the situation in the relating with the Brexit, then I try to finish the Eurozone, and then looking in the enlargement to the new countries in the European Union. No? Trying to redefine something in Europe is the most intelligent answer, taking account the Brexit, because it will be very serious stupidity that Brexit happened and we Europeans in the European Union don't organize a reflection about this and don't establish some consequences about this. No? But there is no reason for not to do enlargement, but there is reasons to be a timetable, a program, an idea, and you can manage in the next future about this. No? This is my answer.
Time is running short, unfortunately, but no, go ahead.
Just a word about it. You cannot imagine
une partie des Balkans dans l'Europe,
one part of the Balkans in Europe and the other one not in Europe. It cannot function. We can be left-wing, right-wing, from east or west, whatever.
Soit vous mettez tous les Balkans dans l'Europe, soit vous les mettez.
Whether the whole of the Balkans or not at all. You cannot just take one part and leave the other. And another thing, it's not only the question if they are ready to enter. The big question is that is to change the functioning of the Union in order that the Union should be adapted to 36 countries. It's adapted to have 6 members. So we've got 2 adaptation questions. So we cannot have the same functioning whenever we've got 36 countries and not 6. So it's not only an agenda question, but I think we shall first of all change European Union. These countries are Europeans by their geography, their culture and so on. But if you think that Union shall not change, it is a big mistake. Union shall change beforehand. So, okay, we've got candidates, they should adapt, but we must be ready, because a union of 36 is not the same as a union of 27 or 6. It's adapted for 6. I think we must be united.
Since you are some kind of a Hungarian expat living in Paris, and we are talking about investing in Hungary today. If some entrepreneur in France came to you and asked you if you should invest in Hungary, what would you tell him?
Mais pourquoi ne pas investir en Hongrie? C'est stable.
Why not? Why not? It's stable.
Le niveau de vie augmente.
The Hungarians live better and better. Geographically, it's in the center of Europe.
C'est un pays moderne qui n'a pas encore les défauts des pays modernes depuis trop longtemps.
Yet the same problem that we do have in more modernized Europe. Hungarians are well settled. There is no unemployment, and your market is in expansion.
De comprendre que vous êtes devenu un pays central, plus important que vous l'imaginez, et qu'il n'y a pas d'un côté une Europe du Sud, une Europe du Nord, une Europe populiste, une Europe européenne. Et alors, Europe,
no, it is a Europe with Hungary which counts.
Européen, profondément européen, et qui n'a pas besoin d'excès
European
pour trouver sa
country,
place en Europe.
and you do not need
Pardon
excessive things to do to find your
je connais
place in Europe. You are in
énormément de chefs
Europe.
d'entreprise,
I really do have a
qui ont
lot
déjà
of
investi dans le pays. Moi, je vis en
people
Hongrie depuis très longtemps.
in my circle.
La Hongrie d'aujourd'hui n'a plus rien à voir avec ce que j'ai
And
connu.
so on, business doing in Hungary and so on. And yes,
Dans les bains communautaires,
well, I think
originalité.
it's
Vous
not
êtes
the
une grande
same than in the time
pays,
when
une
you
grande
go to the
capitale,
spa
une des plus
only.
grandes capitales d'ailleurs
I think
d'Europe.
Budapest is one of the biggest and
Peut-être que
nicest
mes amis
capital
hongrois
of
doivent
Europe.
comprendre
Perhaps my
qu'ils doivent
Hungarian
d'abord se faire confiance
friends
à eux-mêmes.
shall
Vous avez
understand
changé
that firstly you shall
vous
have more
l'imaginez.
confidence in yourself. You
These
are
were
more
wonderful
important than you
last
think.
words for this meeting of minds in Budapest here today. Gentlemen, Monsieur le Président Sarkozy, José María Aznar, it was great to have you here. Thank you very much for being with us.
He is president too. Hein? He is not Prime Minister, he is the President of the Spanish government.
But President of government. President, no, pas President de la République. Because we are a royaume, a kingdom.
In any case, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can just remain seated for a while. We've not yet finished. We are very close to it. I want to thank again Nicolas Sarkozy, Jose Maria Aznar, and Alexander for an excellent conversation. Thank you very much for that meeting of minds. I've been asked to give a summary of the day. How do you summarize a whole day? Well, I'll do it like this. We were given a lot of facts, and then we were told to ignore the facts and feel the funky vibe. I think that was the expression. Now, as you know, I'm a journalist. I'm an old school journalist. I'm old-fashioned and proud to say it. And even in this day of fake news, I happen to think that facts are important. So what I would say to you is, remember the facts and remember the funky vibe. Because it's both together that make for so much of the excitement that's going on around Budapest and Hungary. It's not by accident that I've been here 20 years, although you wouldn't know it to hear me speak Hungarian. No, I wouldn't do that, that's a threat. The facts speak truth. Most of you in this room are business people. Look at the facts, talk to people who are already investing here, find the people who can help you in government, and there's lots, and then make your own choice, make your own decision, but do it on facts and feel. This ends the formal part of the day. We now have a networking opportunity that runs until around 6:30. And then for those of you who have registered for the gala dinner, we will then begin the shipping process. I'm told we have 5 enormous buses to transport you from here to the Museum of Fine Arts. There we're going to have a reception in the newly renovated room. It's a fantastic place. It's worth going to get the feel of the vibe there, if nothing else. There's a brief welcome reception, as you would expect. And then there's a welcome speech from Laszlo Palkovic, Hungary's Minister for Innovation and Technology. I will tell you 2 things about Minister Palkovic. He has an incredibly detailed grasp of his brief. And he talks really fast. As I said, I'm an old-fashioned journalist. I take a shorthand note. I can barely keep up with him. The good news is that he'll be talking in English, so that means he will be marginally less fast than he would be in Hungarian. But take it in, let it wash over you. There will be so much information to come from him. And then after that, we will have the gala dinner itself. And for those of you with the stamina, that will run until 11. So thank you for your attendance today. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for keeping with us when we had to juggle with the time, as we always do with these kind of events. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you found it usable, because that's ultimately the point of an event like this. So thank you for your attention. Enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.